Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is going to be a review for Cutting It in the ATL. This is season 1, episode 2. You know what? Messy. It's messy. Really messy with a lot of stuff going on. And I'm going to say this. I usually don't even, comment too much about what's down in my comments, but I had noticed that, I had made some assumptions, and I usually do whenever we start a new show. I'll tell you who I like, who I don't like, and where I think people are going to be, because that's what I do. I do reviews, and it's my opinion of what it is that I've watched and what I'm thinking is actually going to come up. So that's what I give you, what I think. Now, sometimes people will disagree, and I don't have a problem with that. We do that here on this channel. We could disagree and all that. We don't have a problem. But I'm going to make a point. Someone actually made a comment about me saying that I wasn't crazy about Mashiach. And saying, so the nicest one of all, you chose not to like. Well, after watching episode 2, I'm going to be really interested to see if they feel the same way. Mashiach is a much nastier bitch than I ever even thought that she could be. She started right in on the episode calling them all crazy bitches. And that's exactly what she thinks they are. Crazy bitches. And that's the plan that she has for how she's going to treat them all. And she was planning throughout this episode, she's planning this day to do makeovers for the less fortunate, basically for homeless women and that kind of thing. So you see her kind of putting that together, and I'm looking at her and her cockeyed ass husband, and they're doing it, and I'm saying, something ain't right with these people. But I just kept watching. And I'm not going to go scene by scene. I'm just going to kind of jump through here. Beauty took and sent the spy over to Maya's $50 weave shop. And it was funny because she was really going on, and she was really going through all these changes, and she was doing this, with the magnifying glass and looking at the hair. Here she couldn't even talk bad about the hair. So she couldn't say anything bad about the hair. And all she could talk about is the way that the hair was put in. Now, granted, that goddamn weave job was a goddamn fool. Yes, it was. But again, remember, she went to the $50 weave shop. You get what you pay for. Okay? If you have a weave that you pay $50 for, no, you shouldn't think it's going to look like one that I charge $200 for. So I really had no problem with that. I saw it. I saw that the stitches were really wide, and when she pulled her hair apart, you get what the fuck you pay for. It took an hour and a half. The woman said it took an hour and a half to get her hair done. And it looked about an hour and a half's worth of work. It was what it was. And then the thing is, the cute part about it with Beauty, her hair looked better than Beauty's hair. Now, I know y'all seen that. Her hair, with her $50 weave job, where the stitches was big enough, yeah, she stuck her finger through it and all that bullshit. But her hair looked better than yours did, Beauty. Because, as we've seen, you a raggedy head motherfucker. I ain't seen you yet in a scene where your hair's good. Her hair be looking a mess. A mess. And there was one scene in particular, she went with Mashiach, and they were out talking. She had dookie braids. Now, I ain't worked at a salon and I don't know when, but I know a dookie braid went out in the 90s. That shit ain't even trying to make a comeback. Dookie braids? Really? On a grown-ass woman who owns a business? You look foolish. Foolish. And then they had the nerve to be going to the side. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, moving on. Deirdre and Maya actually had a little situation where Deirdre went to Maya's shop and she apologized about You know how everything went, and said, just like I said in the last review, that what she should have done when she found that she wasn't interested in what was going on, she should have just got her ass up and left. And she said that. Maya was in the midst of, she got robbed. Somebody busted up through her window with a brick, or looked like a little miniature cement block, and stole like thousands of dollars worth of hair off of her. And of course, Deirdre through shade was saying, I don't think that child has insurance. And this, that thing, and the other. She's shady. She really is shady. She's shady as she can be. But we had that. Then later on in the program, Maya had another problem where one of her other stores got robbed and the drawer was short over $1,000, and she fired the one girl, and then another girl comes back and tells her, oh no, I really think it's this person who has been working with her for all these years, and she ends up crying. So really, I mean, I don't know, baby, you're going to have to pull this together and hold your head up, because you're not showing to be the businesswoman that you claim that you are either, because you can't even keep your motherfucking inventory inside the store. Funny thing to me, we see you sitting around with cute robes, drinking cocktails and playing with an ugly ass dog instead of going to your salon and watching your motherfucking money. Okay? Because if you didn't do nothing but go and collect the money and put it in a drop box every day, bitch, you ain't doing nothing else. You don't do hair, remember? So you just sit around and let the business work. You need to stagger your times. Go past the place, finish out your own drawers and all that. You need to get the fuck up and go watch your motherfucking money, bitch. That's what you need to do. And what are you doing that people are just busting in the windows? You need to up your goddamn your surveillance. You need to get your shit together, honey. Step your pussy up. What you doing? Get it together. And again, like I said, you're not a hairdresser, so you're not tied up nowhere. You're not doing anything. You don't have anything all day long to stop you from watching your money but you and them cocktails and that dumbass dog. Now get on. That's foolish. Getting hit 2 times. What, 2 times in 1 week? Whatever. Anyway, let's see what else. Oh, this bothered me. Beauty was out with her son. You see her little son? He's a cute little boy. He looks like her, but he's a cute little guy. She was teaching him to drive or whatever. And he's driving around and whatever and all this here. She goes into this segment trying to give us reality of her where she was homeless. The story of where she was homeless. Now, what she should have been buying, you buying weave, buy you and your son some acting lessons, okay? Don't come here and try to sell us. See, we're professional, goddamn reality show watchers, okay? You don't come to us and feed us no line of bullshit about you being homeless. There is a difference between being homeless and living from pillar to post. What you describe, my darling, is a trifling bitch with a baby living pillar to post, not a homeless woman. See, a homeless woman takes her children, she done come out of something bad. She got a story to tell. A homeless woman got a story that'll sell a book. Okay? She's that girl that's come from an abusive relationship and just couldn't take it. And on the last beating, she went and checked herself into a woman's shelter with her baby. That's not what you described. What you described is a trifling whore who had a baby strapped to her fucking hip, living at this friend's house for a little bit, then going over to that friend's house for a little bit when that bitch get tired of you, and keeping it moving like that, basically living off the fat of the land with a welfare check and food stamps coming to an address that you don't live at, bitch. That's what you described. So, no, don't feed us a story about you being homeless. You weren't homeless. You were a nasty bitch that was living from pillar to post. You're trifling. That's what I got out of it. Now, if I'm wrong and something else comes out later, I'll go back and I'll change it, but I don't believe I am. what I watched, and I watch plenty of shows and I review plenty of shows. I pay good attention. I did not hear the story of a homeless woman. I heard the story of a bitch living from pillar to post. Now, y'all go on down in them comments and write whatever you want, but that's what I heard. So, moving on. I don't have it for that beauty. I ain't liking her very much either. Mashia's event was the next thing. This made me like Mashia even less. Like, I'm just done. She's ridiculous. She's absolutely ridiculous. And her husband, he's a joke too. From the door now, Deidre and LaKenya were treated terrible with them showing up. Terrible, terrible, terrible. The treatment was literally terrible. They roll in there. It was already some, she was barking at him kind of, and it was real, she was shady. And then she asked Deidre to leave. And Deidre went on and, she was going back at her and carrying on, and she went ahead and she left. And, she goes outside, and they're having these words back and forth. Mashia comes back in. Now, dig this. They're there to do free hair. To go with this cause of these women, these homeless women. LaKenya came there with her boss, which is Deidre. When Deidre leaves, LaKenya leave. Because you're there with your boss. She's basically working. But Deidre said, you go on back in there, because I know this is about exposure and everything like that. You go ahead on back in there. Build your brand. And she was going to stay and do her client. When she goes back in just that fast, because it wasn't that long, she goes back in, Beauty that went over there up on LaKenya's client. Ain't that but some bullshit. Oh, that was so unprofessional to leave your client, this, that, and the other. I'm finishing her now. That was just a mess. That was a mess. And when LaKenya came up, Beauty should have just stepped off and went on. But no, she didn't. Her and LaKenya start having a couple words. Here comes Mashia, her and her husband. Then her husband, you're up in these women's business. And they throw her out. They throw her out. Tell her all about, don't be acting like your boss, this, that, and the other. And child, bad. That's not what was actually going on. And she's ended up leaving. So I'm sitting saying to myself now, seriously? I was feeling bad for LaKenya because you went through all that. It's all this commotion about some fucking free ass hair. Do you honestly believe, regardless of what the cause was, do you honestly believe that I would allow a bitch to aggravate me for me to be in a position to do some free hair? I promise you not. I promise you not. She ended up leaving. She was pissed off. She left. But what she did do, she turned around. She came back. She come back. She gives flowers to the woman who she was working on. That was nice. And that was cool. But I'm going to tell you what I did like. She came back and then she started playing up to the husband, cockeyed husband, and old nappy head Mashia. And they were talking to her like shit. Okay? She literally threw Deidre under the bus. Did y'all pay attention? She threw Deidre under the bus and was basically kissing their ass to be in with them because she's opportunistic. She's a two-faced, opportunistic, ass-kissing bitch is what I saw out of her. And I knew I wasn't going to like LaKenya. I just was I did feel sorry for her when they threw her out. But You got what you deserve because you went right back up in there, begged to be in their presence to do free hair. Listen to them down talk you, and they did. They fucking wiped their goddamn ass with your fucking shirt, you stupid bitch. And you were there for every bit of it. She is literally filled, wrapped, and swole with the ass kisser Jane. I got no respect for that. At all. At all. I thought it was horrible. And they treated her horrible. Talked all about Deidre. You're being mentored by the wrong person. And it's that thing and the other. And oh, they were real smart and nasty. The cockeyed husband and the simple ass wife. They talked to her like shit. But, you know, that's what she deserved. Because you went in there with some old shady ass shit up underneath your belt. You ass kissing fool. Anyway, that's basically it. That's all that really went on. It was enough. It was enough. I had enough. When we reached the last of the hour, I had seen enough. That machine done got right up underneath my whole goddamn skin. The whole skin. And like I said, I thought she was a nasty bitch, and now we know she is. Anyway, guys, you can thumbs up or thumbs down. Take it out in the comments. Let's talk. It'll be cool. Everything's fine. And I will catch you guys on the next video. All right, guys. Bye for now.